Hi, welcome to week 7 and 8 of my devlog for my upcoming sailing game. As you can see, this week you're not actually seeing through my eyes, but you're actually seeing through another point of view in the world. What you're seeing is I've set up the multiplayer successfully. So, what this is, it's another agent in the world transmitting across the network. So, as you can see right now, I'm standing here. You can see my arms moving around, and this is actually getting transported up to the internet and then back down into the other client. Both of the clients are running on my own computer, but at this point, they're completely separate and working well. And as you can see, if I transport around, I'll actually transport over to wherever I'm supposed to go. You can't actually see the teleport or where I want to teleport. I don't know if I'll put that in, but I can jump around in the world and I'm still in the world and you can see where I'm at. And the other thing I've added is that if you want to create a boat, because now boats aren't created automatically in the world, you actually have to hover over this boat, pull the trigger, and it makes a boat appear. Now, the thing about the boat is that right now the X and Y and Z axis are all transported across the net, but the boom is actually not transported. What I'm seeing right now is not exactly what you're seeing, and I still have to implement that into the game. So I can jump onto the boat, and now I'm standing on top of the boat. You can see me here. And one thing that uh, you can see on your side, but I can't see on my side, is where your physics has actually pushed this boom over. Usually, when the physics gets transferred over, the boom's actually swung out. I don't know if I'm getting blocked right now, but if I grab the boom, which is where my right hand is right now, I can see it's transferring the information back and forth uh, on my own view, but it's probably not on your side. It's just making the boat rock back and forth. I didn't want to show you much more because right now I still have to get the sailing remotely working, but it's working pretty well, and I've got a good idea of how to get all this information going back and forth across the network very simply. I also just got distracted on something in the last week, and I want to show you that, but I'm going to show you that from my view. So we'll jump in there right now. So I've restarted the game, and my guy's obviously gone because I'm no longer transmitting across the network. This game is going to be multiplayer as well as single player. I'm going to ignore the little boat, although I'm particularly happy about the sort of floating thing when you try and grab a boat. And actually warp over here and look at these three controls. Now, a few, I think, weeks or months ago, I bought an asset that's a really good um, skybox and weather asset. You can see that the clouds have changed from last time. What I wanted to do is this game is all about time and all about sailing. And a really important thing about sailing is that, the day does go on and things change. And I might be adding some tides to the game. But one thing I wanted to do is add weather. And weather is a super important thing about sailing. So there's three controls here. I'm going to start on this side. This control, what it does is you just grab this knob and you can change the direction of the wind. So you can see if I change it around here, you can see that the way that the wind is going in on the water shader that I have changes. A really simple thing, and I'm really happy because it works both by like grab it anyway and screw it around, grab it up here, get it going like that. So yeah, this is a really important thing. Now I haven't actually decided how I'm going to implement this in the game yet. Possibly you can modify this, or maybe only the master client can modify this. That's the way to set up the game for however you want to play. Possibly that the wind will slowly shift depending on some factors. Don't know yet, but just for the time being, it's really good to have a shiftable wind. The other thing is you've noticed that my sun is actually going down. And what I've added here is I've added a time control. So you can see that the sun's going down here, but if I grab this control, I can actually modify where the sun is. And I've got a full day and night cycle. You can see that I've got the stars out. And also there should be a moon here somewhere. Where's the moon? There we go. There it is. There's the moon. So you can see that the moon's slightly moving. If I put my hand up and here on my controller, you can see it's moving through. Oh, this might not be the right eye. It's moving through there. Yeah, and the moon goes through phases as well. It's a really cool asset that I got. This is also the same as the wind. I don't know if I want to have this always active, or maybe only the master client can control it. I still need to add it so that this knob moves as the sun moves. So when you're grabbing it, you're not actually jumping it back and forth. And the other thing that I wanted to show off is that it's really important for me to not have a lot of menus or a lot of letters. So I wanted to make everything with various icons. So I'm pretty sure that people will understand what these icons mean. All of them, they're pretty useful. And the other thing is that it'll be make it really easy for localization to other languages because I actually don't have to change anything there. One thing about VR that I really love is that things like this is so much better way of grabbing or making something or interacting with the world than aiming at a menu. I really don't like menus, and I probably won't have any menus in the game. That's hopefully will happen, but that's the plan right now. And then the last one is actually the most cool one. Right now I'm on sunny. Well, I'm on partially cloudy, but I'll just switch it over here. Um, I'm on sunny right now, but I wanted to make an easy way for you to change the world's type of weather. So I can just grab this, twist this around to lightning, and you'll see that the world is starting to get a little bit darker. If I transport over here, the only thing right now is it does take a little bit of time for it to change, but you can see that the world is changing. It's getting darker. The cloud should be shifting away pretty soon. The light's turning down. Um, it's getting a little bit windier. One thing I do need to do is still interact with or change the lightning and the storms to increase the wind speed, but that's not something that's super hard. It's now raining. Rain's pretty cool. I think it's a little bit big for the VR. The drops look really, really huge, so I'll be playing around with the particles there. But as you can see, it's moved in, and actually, I've got some lightning going on. I still have to work a little bit on the shader. Right now, I'm still getting a lot of reflections from the water because the water is not actually blocking off the wind, and I have to add FOD back in because right now it's pretty clear. But once I get those two things interact with each other, it should look really cool and also help you fight rain and feel like you're really engaged. There are some sounds that are with the system, but I'm going to be doing a major sound overhaul as soon as I'm ready to launch. Oh, it looks really cool if you can actually see the lightning, but I don't know if that's going to work. It's actually really windy where I am right now, so that might be showing up on the mic. Okay, so I've showed off everything that I've worked on for the last 2 weeks. I'm going to jump out and talk about the next steps.
So now that you've seen a little bit of what I've done in the last couple of weeks, I wanted to actually reach out to the community and ask them for their opinion. One thing that I don't really know exactly what I want to do is how the other person is portrayed to people on a remote network. As you could see in the video, what I've done is I've just taken the original HMD that Vive developed that had two phone images and a little camera because I thought it was the most personal of all of the HMDs, but I really don't want a just floating HMD head. I think when people look at the HMDs, they think of something is actually in someone's eyes instead of what they can see. So I just wanted to ask what the community thought of making, like, what do we want to have in this game. Some ideas I've had is hands actually holding controllers, because one of the things is that you're going to be doing a lot of scrambling around, and I don't want people to smash their controllers together. So I want the controllers to be an actual part of the game. As you can see, I actually put a cutout in the front of the controller by grabbing out the data from the actual controller, because I want that to feel like I'm going to grab something with the end of controller and it's going to wrap around like a rope instead of smashing them against each other. But anyways, I want to know what people think of what the body should be. There's like three options. There's one is just like hands that are like hovering there, and a head. The other ones are sort of like a disembodied body, maybe a life jacket, hands that maybe might have a little bit of IK, and then their heads as well. And then the final one, which is probably the most complicated, is to have an actual body moving around. The problem with that is that there's a lot of leaning in boats, and I don't know exactly how I can make that look good without having someone's legs fly off, and have a spot where your feet actually have to be on the boat when you're sailing. That might be something that comes out past like the early access stage. So yeah, no, let me know in the comments on either YouTube or Reddit what you guys think would be the best way to show off the player in the other world. For now, I'm probably going to have just the two controls when you are playing, but we do need a way to present the player on the other side. Now, unless you've been living under a rock recently, you've probably seen the new announcement about the Valve prototype controllers, which are probably the second generation of the HTC Vive controllers. What these controllers do is that instead of having a grip button on the side here, which is the one that a lot of people have complained about, you actually have the controller attached to your hand, and you can release and grip the controller. It senses where your hand is, and from all the stuff I've seen online, it looks really awesome. When I saw this, I got really excited because in the game, grabbing onto ropes and grabbing onto other things is a huge part of the game. There's a big tactile feel, and right now I've done a halfway decent job of having both the grip button as a toggle and then the trigger button as a quick grab. I like that system for the Vive controllers, but I think that looking at these in general, I'm going to add the grip system just right into my game right away to make sure that when these controllers came out, I've already programmed everything to be ready for them. It says the additional advantage that the touch controllers actually have a better grip button, in my opinion, because they are analog, so they move in and out, and they're very easy to grab. So I'm going to add those two options so that when everyone gets their touches on December 6th, hopefully I'll have the game out by then, maybe, and people will be able to set like whatever style they want. Because with the grip on the touch, it seems a lot better to just hold it down forever than like the one that's on the Vive. If this button wasn't so clicky, probably be a better idea to be able to hold it forever, but after about 20 seconds, your hand starts getting really tired. So next thing I'm going to do is add some more multiplayer. As you can see, I still don't have the boom going across the network, and that's the biggest job for me right now. I'm going to work on that all next week because I got distracted with that weather stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do the next week. And as long as I don't get distracted by some other thing. Right now the game's running really well on my 970, so I am designing this game for a lower end computer. But those people that have 1080s and 1070s, they can crank the super sampling up and make the game look even prettier. I'll probably add other settings for the higher end games, like having shadows. I have them implemented right now, but they really do cause a lot of CPU spikes. One thing I really want this game to be is run smoothly, even on the lowest specs. So yeah, all right. Thanks a lot for watching this 6th or 7th and 8th week devlog. I am going to go back to doing them once a week. I just didn't have a lot to show off last week when I was working on the multiplayer. So thanks a lot, and have a great day.